Well, hi everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. We had 14 people that were able to do this Art of Freelance workshop thanks to Space for the Arts on either a full or partial scholarship. So we'd like to say thank you to them especially. So the past 10 weeks, we've been meeting every single week in various groups. We're only going to be presenting 2 out of the groups, 2 of 10 cohorts from the Art of Freelance workshop we'll be presenting tonight. And over those 10 weeks, we picked projects together to work on individually, and then we had some accountability and worked towards those goals together. Some of the projects are still works in progress, so we're here for that. We love that, and we want you to know that not everything's going to be super polished and finished, but it's exciting to see nonetheless. And we're going to be presenting 3 minutes at a time, so it's going to go pretty quickly. But afterwards, you can follow people on Instagram, reach out if people want help with their projects, or to tell people you like what they're doing. We love to hear that. So you can also check us out on Instagram at Art of Freelance. And then we also have fall workshops on artoffreelance.com. So I think to kick us off, we're actually going to be juggling it a little bit here. So Juan Paulo Alicante is actually going to be our first. So that was kind of a curveball. I hope you're ready for that.
And Linnea, this is Mara, the other cohort leader. I didn't mean to have you take the lead, and I didn't mean to,
No, hi, that's
not
great.
step in and join in on the introduction, but you did a great job, so thank you. So I'm happy to jump in when my group starts and when we kind of shift over, so so I can introduce my folks, the folks on my team.
Yeah. All right, Paulo.
Okay, hello. Everyone can hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Juan Paulo Alicante. I just go straight into sharing my screen. Yeah, okay. Moments. Okay. So, hello everyone, my name is Juan Paulo Alicante. My project is called The Most Eligible Bachelor. It's supposed to be a portrait photography series made up of 6 parts. And its aim is to highlight Asian Americans, queer Asian Americans, as kind of romantic Hollywood leads and characters, and kind of envisioning that to sort of manifest this a future that I want to see more representation, more accountability, that sort of thing. So it's an all-encompassing project. A little bit about me. I am a portrait photographer from New York City. I'm Filipino American, and I'm also queer myself. Wanted to be putting more and more of that representation out there to be the kind of person that I needed to see when I was a kid. The project was a series of images kind of echoing a fashion editorial set. It's going to be one of 6. So the first character that I wanted to portray is the golden boy. It's a series of different images that kind of could be part of a feature shoot for a magazine. Here, I'm kind of playing off of different aesthetics. Mostly wanted to balance between masculine and feminine looks and kind of comparing the two. And when putting the whole set together, kind of have a variety of images that create a kind of like a look aesthetic. The model Toph was also a queer Asian American as myself. Tried to create different aesthetics with gold looks, with sunflower, just trying to create as much of a cohesive look as possible. And that is mostly all. I'm looking to create more portraits for this project moving forward, looking for stylists, creative directors, makeup artists, hairstylists, and the like. So if you know of anyone who would be interested in collaborating with me for this project, I'd seriously appreciate you reaching out. And thank you so much for listening.
Amazing. Thank you, thank you. So I'm actually going to be going up next. If some of you have, let's see. So hi, I'm Linnea Bullion. I'm actually going to be continuing a project that I started last Art of Freelance, and it's going to be an ongoing thing for a while, I think. So if you were here last time, you will have seen some of this, but there's new stuff too. So basically, I shoot a variety of different styles, and I wanted to find a way to kind of shoot all those styles while being able to present them somehow together in a way that kind of made sense. And came up on alliterations because I love alliterations. And I'll just jump into it. So I do a lot of self-portraits. So this actually isn't going to be my B. I have a much bigger shoot involving bodybuilders, bread, and butts. That's going to be my big B shoot, but this is my placeholder B. I shot this self-portrait during the workshop and it fit in very well. So I figured it would be nice to see that alongside it. My fun little parrot. So this is one of the ones I shot last time. So I wanted to be able to kind of do goofier things like those self-portraits, but also things that were slightly more documentary oriented, a little more lifestyle. So this is one of the new shoots I did. Lizzie Armanto is an Olympic skateboarder, pro skateboarder for Vans. And so I wanted to do something that was a little bit different for both her and me. She never really wears makeup, is not into kind of like suits and whatever, and we decided to just go for it and have these fun looks. This is my other one from also last time. This is a newer one I did that I absolutely love. Peanut butter and pickles please the palate. Apparently peanut butter pickle sandwiches are a thing. I didn't try it on this shoot, even though I should have, but you know, when you're shooting, you don't think about it. And this was also one of the ones I shot last time. So this was in the height of the pandemic as well. So we wanted to find a way to, you know, safely have a model, and our model was immunocompromised as well. And so she wanted to make sure that we were doing everything as safely as possible. So I actually shot this from outside through a window and had to avoid glare and all sorts of things. And yeah. And this was the very first one I shot that now that things are opening back up, I'm actually probably going to add on to this image, and we're going to go do an indoor shoot as well. There's tea. And then my last one, which was one of the recent ones too, this is Madison, who is also known as Dax Flame, which if you were ever on YouTube in its early days, he was a very big YouTuber right when it was kind of starting to gain popularity. And he now still auditions for things, and that is where our yearning for yes comes from. So that's where I'm at so far. So thanks, everybody. And let's see, I think Sarah is not here, if I'm correct, but I think Macy, yeah, Macy, I think you're next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. I'm Macy J. Ferranda, and I'm an editorial and commercial photographer based in New York currently, but I hop around from New York and LA. I'm going to share my screen. I did a project based off of my parents, who are both retired musical theater actors. I originally was going to do another project that wasn't as emotional, but I decided to do this one because it was time effective, and I needed to go see my parents after getting vaccinated. That was very important to me. They recently just got back together after a really long time. I'm just gonna go through this. Like, let's see, they moved in together within the last couple of months. And this was my attempt to reconnect with them because I actually hadn't been home in a very long time. I had a really great time. It is a serious subject, but I think it was important for me to go and reconnect with them because, again, I hadn't been back since like 2015, 2016. Let's see, I'm gonna go through these. Yeah, I was initially gonna do a different project based off of both of them being musical theater actors. I was gonna go through their careers, but I thought this was more interesting to me just to see them interact as a couple again after so long. I think the last time I saw them together, I was 9, 10. So me being 31 right now, it was very healing for me to go see them together and how they interacted. And I thought it was very interesting. I initially was going to shoot it all on digital, but I brought like a Mamiya and I was shooting video on my phone, and I also had like a small point and shoot. And I just wanted to document it in as many ways as possible. So like the format didn't matter to me really. And I think that the website itself, I was initially going to make a book, which I might eventually. The website itself is kind of like a modern day like family album to me, kind of a mix matchy. But yeah, it was just so interesting to see like how they interacted. Like my father also had to move out of his old apartment to move in with my mother, and I helped them while I was there. He was there for 14 years. And they both during quarantine also lost their mothers. So it was a very, I'm just glad that they both had each other during this time. Yeah, it was just a very healing process. I followed my dad to his physical therapy. I did improv with them. I did like little photo shoots with them. And yeah, it was just, it is a sad subject, but it was, as you can see from the photographs, they are having the best time that they can. um, and they have each other, and they had each other during quarantine, which I think is like the most important thing to me. Yeah, I will exit out of this. And if you want to follow along, this is going to be ongoing. Every time I visit them, just copy down this URL, and you can find my Instagram at Macy J. Ferranda, and my website is macyjferranda.com. Yeah, and that's about it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dante Velasquez, and I am a fashion and portrait photographer based in Los Angeles. And yeah, let me share my screen. Let's get started. I think that's... Yeah. Oh. I should have done this before. Hold on. Okay, so what are we not? Let me share.
Do you want us to come back to you? Maybe you can try to get it figured out there and we can come back to you in a bit. Oh. All right, Dante's back here. Let's see.
I'm so sorry. Okay. We're gonna try this again. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. So, okay, so this is my project. It's called Mahal na Mahal, which loosely translates to love deeply in Tagalog. And it is the start of a love letter to my Filipino heritage, my upbringing, and my culture. Yeah, I've been really trying to get into like fashion editorial photography, and I looked at my Filipino experience. I just wanted to find elements that brought some sense of nostalgia and incorporate them in a shoot. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out my team. Amanda Sebastian was the model, Abby Caputi was the stylist, and Meredith Lim was the hair and makeup artist. And it was so special to me because it was the first time I was on a set with all Asian Americans, and it was so great. And I love that I was creating with people who shared experiences with me and kind of like understood where I was coming from at like a deeper level. So just want to shout them out because I couldn't have done this without them. And yeah, so this is me and my sister on a floral couch. When we were growing up, this couch is like notorious. I feel like a lot of Filipino Americans had it, if not Asian Americans, and a lot of families actually put plastic over it to like protect it from the elements and from everything. And so I drew inspiration from that, and I got floral fabric, and I got plastic, and I did a little photo shoot. So that's one of the images. So let's go through them. And then we put some like flowers on her face to tie in to the floral fabric. But I was actually kind of surprised that I had found like fabric that was kind of very similar to what I was used to, which is fun. But yeah, we shot this in the backyard of my stylist, and it was amazing. Okay, and then the second kind of look we did was based on this game called Pabitin, which is basically our version of a piñata. Basically, like there's a grid of bamboo where you hang streamers and like goodies, like party favors, whatever you want, and you attach it to a rope, throw it over a tree branch, and there's a parent that kind of pulls it up and down while kids try to grab it stuff. So I decided to make my own version, spray paint it red to complement this amazing green dress that my stylist found, which has these amazing like poofy shoulders, which is really popular in the Philippines. There's like this like iconic Filipino dress that has like very exaggerated shoulders, and we wanted to allude to that. So yeah, that's one of them. Here's a close shot. Also, she found these amazing like earrings that are like, there's like a Christmas like light thing that we have called a parole, which it's like literally spot on, like color wise, like shape wise, and she had no idea what was going on, but she just found it and it was like perfect, stars aligned. But yeah, and then he's like wider shot. And then the third look was based on these, which are brooms in the Philippines. They're called walis tambo, and they're made of like reeds. And they're all over the Philippines. And when I would travel back home, I was always like, it's such a weird shape, and they're kind of like soft. So they're so different from like the brooms we're used to. But I was looking at them recently and I was like, those would make cool wings. So I made some wings out of them, and I put them on the model, and it was so much fun. It was honestly like kind of hard to put them on, but I'm like really happy with how they turned out. So we shot on the beach. I really wanted to go for like a kind of like ethereal fairy type thing. But yeah, she was amazing, and braved the cold of the ocean. We didn't make her go in the water though, thankfully. But yeah, so those are those. And then the last look was inspired by this Santo Niño statue, which I used to pray to all the time growing up. And I just like remember this like rich red cape that the statue would always wear. And my amazing stylist found a red cape that reminded me of this. And so we shot that as well. We shot them against the rocks, and I really like the color contrast that was going on. But yeah, so there's that. Another one. And then one last one. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Thanks for listening. If you are based in Los Angeles and want to get a coffee, hit me up. I'm always looking for more creatives to hang out with, collab with. Dante Velasquez Jr. At Instagram.com. Hello at Dante Velasquez Jr. But yeah, thanks, guys.
So Mika is not here. So Mara, you're up.
Sorry. Right now, we're going to hear for a second from Betsy and Van from Space for Arts. As Linnea, you mentioned in the opening, they are not only great supporters of Art of Freelance, but also just kind of the arts in general. And we're going to play a short video for them real quick, and then we'll hear from them after. If we can here.
Turn on your camera.
While you were sleeping,
It is.
oh, you started some sunny breathing. Sleep talker, what's your secret? Rubber lips, so preacher, preacher, wake up call.
You guys seeing that?
Hopefully this one.
Is anybody seeing that?
Oh, it's okay.
Turn the mic on.
All right.
You know what, Connor? We're just gonna chat.
All right.
We're perfectly capable of telling our story
Yeah, it's all
without the
good.
video.
All
It's
right.
okay.
Linnea, you're awesome. Loved your introduction. All of you, congratulations, amazing work. Just think of us as the Airbnb for production studios and locations. We are here to support the arts. We believe that to be part of the community, you have to give back to the community. And everything that you're doing, we want to support and we want to be a part of. And we feel that the Art of Freelance has that core of being able to support the community that we want to be a part of. So if any of you ever need a production studio or a location, reach out.
Spaceforarts.com.
Exactly.
It's easy to find us.
And please know that we are honored to provide some scholarships for Art of Freelance, because we know that it's a tough process and it's a journey, and we've all been there. So thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your journey, and we can't wait for the rest of tonight and tomorrow. And thank you so much, Connor.
Greetings from Western Massachusetts.
Exactly. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, guys. And Mara.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Can you see this okay? I think so. All right. Just one quick thing. I wanted to thank all my the folks in my cohort and the other cohort for presenting their work. It's always so inspiring to see what everyone's been working on, and it's really motivating too for me. And thank you, Space for Arts. So my project this time around was, again, I've done a few of these, and I decided to work on my abstract artwork again, which is inspired by nature. I use alcohol ink to paint these this artwork. And this time around, I really wanted to focus on actually trying to make larger pieces. But early on, I discovered that the alcohol ink, the fumes were a bit toxic and noxious. So I sort of had to pivot in my small space, and being COVID, I didn't really have another space to move to. So I had to pivot, as we sometimes do as artists. And I decided to just choose to paint on a different type of sort of surface. I've been using Yupo paper prior to this. So this time I really wanted to experiment with canvas and glass. And so that's what I did. So I created a series of paintings. This one's on canvas. I think I created about five or six. And I'm just showing some details from the canvas. It was kind of a new experiment for me because the ink reacts very differently on canvas versus Yupo paper. So it was kind of fun to just sort of experiment. This is another painting that I created. They're all around like 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 in size. This is a third one. Another one. I sort of stuck with a similar color scheme. Again, very inspired by nature, often the cosmos as well. And I use a circular embroidery hoop to contain the ink. And I don't want it to be contained within like as a perfect circle. I'd like it to feel organic. And there's another detail. Yes, I've often been told that they look like galaxies. This one kind of reminds me of Van Gogh. I mean, very loosely, nothing close, but I would say the colors. And there's another detail. And then I also, like I said, I also tried painting on glass, which was something I've been wanting to do. So I started really small with, ornament size pieces of glass to sort of experiment. And I like that these are just like other little worlds that I've created. And it started making me think of stained glass and kind of different ways that I could interpret the artwork. And so that's where I came up with this idea in framing it. It's really just a piece of framed glass from a normal frame. I still have to work out the kinks on how I want to present the work of the glassware. So if anyone has any ideas, I'd love to hear them. And people often ask like what size these images are, or these paintings are. So I just gave you a little point of reference. Those glass pieces, the round circular ones are a lot smaller. They're about like 3 by 3 or 4 inches in diameter. So those are pretty small, but my next goal is to try and go bigger again. So so that's pretty much what I worked on. I do have an Instagram and a website where my art is available for purchase. So feel free to check it out. I'd love your support. And thank you. And Dominic, you're up next.
All right. How's everybody doing? I hope well. My name is Dominic Williams. I'm a photographer based out of Kansas City. I specialize in editorial and documentary style photography. I set out to do a long form project. It's the first time I've ever done anything over, other than just shoot photos and post them directly to Instagram. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit more meaningful. And so I will show you my project now. The title of my project is called Fighters. And I wrote an artist statement for it, so I'm going to read that. It's not crazy long, but when we consider fighters, we think of professional boxers or mixed martial artists, those that put their bodies on the line for glory in a test of brawn and intestinal fortitude, coupled with tactical training and muscle memory. Fighting is not just about winning and losing. Sometimes simply battling is a victory unto its own. Everyone I photographed for this project is fighting some sort of battle. The cancer survivor, the former police officer, the assault survivor that's not taking any more shit ever again, the addict, the one fighting for a better way. These battles don't have losers, but there are no championship belts here either. The winning comes in the fight. There are fighters in all of us. When I first began this project, I recall feelings I felt looking at the works of Gordon Parks when he profiled Muhammad Ali for Life magazine. That feeling of intimacy and rapport that he had with his subjects, it just floored me. And I take photographs of people that show an under and an overstanding of the stories they carry, the feelings they exhibit, and the real life that shows up in the images I create when I'm in their presence. I know most of these subjects personally, and so it was kind of a bit cathartic to be able to take these images. My goal was to kind of blend my two styles together. I shoot a lot of portraiture, but I also am really into telling stories lately, and so I wanted to be able to portray that here. So I also have a little slide here with my info. And I'm just gonna actually put all my information in the chat. My goal is to get these photos on walls somewhere, preferably a gallery. Also, I'd like to get some publications out of the work, but really I wanna be able to continue this kind of work going forward. So if this doesn't shake out, which I'm making it shake out right now, but I will, that's my goal. So you can follow me on Instagram at dom.visions. My website, I post all my stuff on my website there. So yeah, thanks for your time.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Tavon Taylor. I'm a photo-based artist from Washington, D.C., and I am going to share the work that I've been doing in the Art of Freelance. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So let me know if you're seeing, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Yes, okay. So this is just my website. I wanted to let you guys see this. TavonTaylor.com, that's where I can be reached. And I have this kind of tab here. It's called The Last Rose of Summer Ongoing. And right now it's like password protected. And I'm actually gonna put the password in the chat once I'm done. But you guys can like go through the images later on and comment. I have a little comment section down here. So yeah, let's go through. So The Last Rose of Summer is a portrait series featuring my family. And I was inspired by our kind of family archive. When I discovered this kind of trunk that was buried in my great grandmother's basement, I was pretty much intrigued by many of the images that I found. The box was filled with imageries of ceremonies, spontaneous moments, people I knew and people I didn't, and so much more. In this discovery, I asked many questions. The main one being, how do I get closer to my ancestors while still here on Earth? Who will take me to them? Who will take this journey with me? And what do I say or what do I do? How do I photograph a pathway to my ancestral garden? So yeah, so this is kind of just the start. I plan for this to be a kind of ongoing project. So this is, I would say it's a kind of mix of intimate portraits and documentary style of image making. Um, yeah, and lastly, while also in the Art of Freelance, I started another project that I named Foliage. And throughout this, for me, the project kind of explores the comfort in queerness and blackness, because for me, the journey of that hasn't been so comforting. Um, so I kind of created images where there are people in their own spaces, as well as in this garden that's kind of near my home. Um, and so far, I only have 3 images. I've done 3 shoots from these, and I've picked, I guess, my favorite one so far. But I plan for this to go up until like maybe 20 images in total. And I have a little poem here that I'll read out. How would it feel to be caressed in your mind as much as you're held in my memory? Stumped on what was incomplete, fracturing the wings of what was never false. I miss you, still. My pain over wounds, knowing what to ignore, as you were never to be opened but desired. Glide your hair on my open chest, connecting every coil to every vein. Coil, I ache, but flesh feels every bit of desire fulfilled. You were there, I was blind. All right. And that is all I have. Thanks, guys.
So awesome. So I'm Jen. I'm going to just share my screen. So it's really good meeting and you all, and congrats everyone on your presentation so far. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Tuesday at 6 crew with Mara for supporting me throughout. Really appreciate all of your support. So just a little bit about myself. I've been freelancing in film, commercials, and television for quite some time now. And I initially entered the industry as a writer, producing my own content. And somewhere along the way, I got lost in advertising. So 2020, I'm sure like many of you, gave me the opportunity to pause, actually being unemployed, and reflect on life choices and having the courage, dare I say, to envision a brighter future. And then I heard of Art of Freelance through a friend. And I knew, as scary as it was, with the encouragement of my cohort, I wanted to challenge my first love and write that feature film that I've always envisioned. Obviously, this is a 3-minute presentation, so sorry I can't share the whole, all the work with you. But some of the things that are in my heart right now, okay? Rent is expensive, too damn high for that matter. Inequality is absolute trash. So let's haunt the gentrifiers. What are you talking about? Okay, so we can rewind a little bit. So I was born and currently reside in Brooklyn, and I wouldn't let my cohort forget it. On a serious note though, oh, sorry. Oh, my slides aren't there, it's okay. On a serious note though, I've seen it go through some tremendous changes over the years, some seemingly for the better. Up until recently, crime has gone down and some neighborhoods have been cleaned up per se, but at what cost? The reality is that with rents skyrocketing, residents have been displaced based on socioeconomic status, and this disproportionately affects Black and Brown communities. I've seen it happen to friends and folks in my own building, and it's terrifying, to say the least. My grandmother also grew up in the neighborhood I currently reside in, which is Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, a neighborhood with rich history, culture, and phenomenal architecture. This photo is actually of my grandmother's brother, my great uncle Jerry, the patriarch of our family, whom I had the opportunity to interview together with my mother about all of these things some years back before he passed away. So with my personal history with the neighborhood and the challenges it currently faces, it made me think, what if the ancestral spirits of the neighborhood took on the greedy developers and scared the shit out of the gentrifiers in the process? It could be funny, a little creepy, meaningful even. So I set off, writing this horror comedy with heart, and have completed over 100 pages of it throughout participating in Art of Freelance. It's been quite an emotional process, and sometimes I feel legit insane, but I'm so grateful for the support from my cohort and how much we've all been able to grow together. Personally, I've learned how to have a healthier relationship with my creativity while balancing and appreciating the money gigs that come during the process. So I'm very much still in the developmental process of this film, but if you're interested and want to learn more, please stay in touch. You can message me through my website and also sign up for my newsletter. I'll definitely need support in funding this bad boy. Just, full disclosure, of course, it's a feature film. So any leads towards grants, production companies, or interest in supporting directly is always welcome. And I need a crew. My Brooklyn experience has always been diverse, and I want to make sure that it's reflected not just in front of the camera, but also behind the scenes. First and foremost, I'm seeking my partner in crime, my director of photography. So if you have any leads, please send them over my way. So it's been great sharing with you all, and thank you all for listening.
Great. Okay. Have I heard, are you having connectivity issues? You want to go or should I go?
Is it, I got it. Unmute myself. Is it my turn? I guess it's my turn. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. My name is Heather Bennett, and I started out with a last Art of Freelance. I wanted to write a treatment for a documentary, and it evolved into a 5-part limited series. And so that was a really great experience. And then I learned through that I needed a pitch deck, and I had no idea what a pitch deck was or what to do with it. But I had collected all this material, and it was really, really hard. And so I'll show you what I came up with, and it's still not finished. But I will first show a share screen here. So this is me going out, and you'll see behind me, I just set out 3 days ago to document some fiddling that's starting up. So I'm in this van traveling, and I, let's see. I don't know why this is. My computer also crashed yesterday, so this is a new computer, and it's not letting me. Okay. So oops, share, sorry. Let's see. All right, I grew up fiddling, and I traveled. This is my teacher, Slim. He was 83 years old, and he was my next door neighbor. He came to California in a covered wagon, and I did this all throughout my childhood. This is me winning the National Fiddle Contest in 1983. And I kind of left it behind for many years, and I started telling my kids about it, and they became really interested in it. So this is my daughter and me, and she went on to film school at USC, and then we decided to make this into a documentary. But I knew the general story, but I didn't really know how to flush it out. So this has been quite a learning process. I decided to call it Trails of Rosin Dust. And we go to 5 regions. I'm going to show you a quick video. Optimize clip. I'm learning how to use this.
Without discussion of the songs themselves. A lot of these songs that we all grew up playing are centuries old, and you can actually trace them back through the various regions of the United States and across the Atlantic Ocean to the British Isles. And many of these songs have actually retained their basic identity for hundreds and hundreds of years.
These tunes were America's top hits. Everybody knew them, everybody played them, people danced to them. They were a means of communicating across great distances when we didn't have radio.
So new share.
So Heather, we're not seeing this the video.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, it seems to be stuck on the slide of the covered wagon, unless anybody else is seeing something different here. is there a way you can pop the link into the chat there that we could access it somehow?
Okay. Let me try that. So if I go here, I could, yeah, you just want me to put it in the chat? So yeah, not to take up so much time, but that I just included it in the chat and you could take a look at it. It's basically it's an uncut version. I mean, it's a rough cut version of these different excursions we've taken. And with the pitch deck, I just set out basically the five regions. So, quickly, I'll run through it. This is just capturing how old these fiddle tunes are. They're hundreds of years old. This is a map that was made that shows the different regions. And then I put together, this is Appalachia. These are the cast members that we want to interview, some we have interviewed. This is the bluegrass region and the characters, the Ozarks, Texas in the Southwest, the Wild West, and basically what we're going to go out and cover not only the living fiddlers today, but to tie it into the past. I'm working now on the content, the copy, and it's been really hard for me. So if you're interested in this project, you could check out the little video. You can leave comments in there. It is password protected, so I included the password. You can email me. I just started an Instagram. It's at Rosin Dust Film, and we're going to be running a crowdfunding campaign in October. So you can just let me know. And I think I've taken up a lot of time, but you could check it out, and definitely would love some feedback on the copy as I come up with the storyline. So.
All right, should I jump in? My name is Ricardo Harris Fuentes. I'm a painter working in Los Angeles. Yeah, and so for this Art of Freelance, I decided something that has been sort of coming up for me is I'm trying to sort of transition to mostly live off the sales of my artwork and trying to streamline the process of getting the work from my studio into people's houses. And so my project was to, and I just want to throw out somebody recently told me the definition of a perfectionist is trying to do 100 things and then failing and then trying to do 200 after that failure. And I sort of feel like that's the theme of my project. I set out to do an insane amount of stuff, didn't come close, but at least I got some stuff done. And I think that I have my summer carved out for me in terms of what I want to do. So I'll just kind of give a rundown. I was going to make 10 new paintings for this Art of Freelance. I made 3. I was going to make a new clean website. That didn't happen. I was going to create an email template to blast out new work. That got started. I was going to organize my social media, my image files, and all of that stuff to kind of just revamp my whole online presence. That did not happen. I was going to make 2 new sales. That did happen, so I'm very happy about that. That sort of came together just actually 2 days ago. And I was going to write and submit 1 new proposal. So I'm going to just quickly show you some images. Sorry, the proposal will happen. I'm going to just show you a couple images of my work because it's always nice to look at stuff. So you guys can see that, right? Let me see if I can do slideshow. So it's a little bit nicer. So this was a commission. Can you guys see that okay? I think so, yeah. Okay. So this is a commission that I completed. I guess it's on its own time frame. So my paintings are made with sort of interference pigments that shift depending on what angle you look at them. And so that's kind of important to know as I go through. So this was not one of the sales I counted, but a sale that I had. This is a painting that was done loosely in this time frame. This did sell. So that was one of my sales. This is a large painting that you can see behind me that I actually also sold, which feels like a feat for me because it's 12 by 6 feet. It's ginormous. It's kind of unsellable in a way, and I managed to sell it, so I feel pretty happy about that. Here's a little detail. This is for sale in case anyone knows of anyone who wants some palm images. Here's another one. So just a kind of quick rundown, you know, and the idea and something that I think we can all probably relate to is just kind of how do you take it from your area of production and then share it with the world. And for me, it seems like I seem to sell my work mostly to people that I meet or that I'm introduced to. And so I'm trying to, it's not so much online, so far it hasn't been so much online or what do you call it, Instagram traffic, that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to just get the work out in a more personal way through email blasts, which have sort of worked in the past. And my idea with this project was to canvas interior decorators, designers, that sort of stuff, because I have had some luck with that in the past. And I was going to throw out, if anyone wants to join my mailing list, I would be happy to share what will be, let me see, I have just an image of it, a quarterly sort of newsletter with images of work for sale that you can also pass on. And I'll put my information in the chat if you guys want to be included. I didn't really get to flesh this out, but this is probably stuff that's all old hat to you advertisers in the crowd and people that are more in the commercial side of art. So that is what I worked on. There's still a lot that I feel is unfinished in my project, but it was an inspiration to be once again in the Art of Freelance group and working with my people. So thank you so much. I'll put my info in the chat. If you want to be on the mailing list, just send me an email or something like that, or just put your email in the chat and I'll copy it. So thanks so much, guys.
Great job, everyone. My name is Alicia Cunningham. I want to apologize for the camera. My laptop had went out and I was advised to get a gaming laptop because I do film and photography, and I had no idea that gaming laptops have cameras at the bottom here. So I did join Art of Freelance. I'm very grateful to have been connected with everyone. I joined because I wanted to be in a group with other artists and creatives, and also I believe in accountability. Whether it's, me getting accountability for myself and also supporting someone else with their accountability. I decided to participate in Women of Color Filmmakers. They have the Summer Film Lab. They're based out in LA, and due to COVID, I'm very grateful. Because of COVID, they were able to do the lab online. So the lab as well as the meetups. And I don't think, because if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have been able to connect with this group. So with the Summer Film Lab, you have to create a film that's under 15 minutes, any genre, but you have to have the word Nirvana in it. So I decided Art of Freelance happened to come up just at the time when I was joining this, the lab, when I decided I would participate, and I took the opportunity because I felt like it was beneficial in both ways, giving and receiving. So I'm gonna show my trailer that I worked on for the class. I still have to do you know, a little bit more edits, but then my website afterwards. If you can't hear, please let me know, but I will do my best to share my screen.
Controversies Radio Show. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Oh, hello, Faith. Are you there?
Yep, you are on the air. Who's calling?
Hi. Look, I don't have a whole lot of time. I can't tell you my name.
All right. Can you tell us where you're calling from?
Yeah, Area 51. They want us to capture people. They want to bring America back to what it once was, what it used to be. They're coming. I'm gonna be late. They've been talking to me tonight. I can already hear them.
Caller? Hello, caller? Caller.
So the name of my short film is Titled Annexation. It's a short horror sci-fi about a lone mom who is maneuvering the world during an invasion. There has been pretty much an apocalypse, and it was very important to me to have a woman of color, but also a dark-skinned woman and baby, because it's not often seen, not only in film, but also in horror film. So I did, when I did my casting call, it was very important that she was, that was the case. I love horror. I've done documentary. I'm working on another documentary. I just got the word that I received the grant for today. But horror has always been my second love. I feel like documentary and horror. So I like true story horrors, which is kind of where like spirit work, ancestors. And I'm going to show you one more time. That's why I'll log off. I'm going to share my screen to stay connected. This is my website, alicia.com. You can stay connected because my books, and I have a shop if you're interested in purchasing any books or anything on my shop, and then you can stay connected with me through any of my website, my links at the bottom of my website. And thank you. Alicia.com, sorry, let me put it there.
Wow, thank you, Alicia. That looked amazing. And thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And again, thanks to Betsy and Van and Space for Arts. Hope you guys can join us again tomorrow night. It'll be at the same time. And we'll let Mara and Linnea as the cohort guides, if there's anything else you guys want to add for your cohorts here tonight as a send-off here.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to everyone. It was really inspiring to see all your work, your hard work come to fruition. And it'll be exciting to just, you know, see it progress and see what you guys continue to create. It's always just so inspiring to see each time I do these Art of Freelance workshops. I'm just always amazed at what everyone comes up with during these 10 weeks. So kudos to you. I mean, especially, you know, the year or so we've been through, you know, to really just march on and really stay devoted, you know, to your craft and your work. It's really impressive.